What's up, souls? Welcome back to my Mystic Mom channel. My name is Gabrielle, and today we're going to be doing a channeled message for the collective. When creating content, and I'm just kind of start getting into this, I have so many ideas and things that I want to talk about and share that I've really come to start sitting with spirit, and I get into a meditative state and I just ask that they tell me what it is or show me what it is, communicate to me what it is that the collective that, resonates with this and who comes across my channel needs to hear the most right now. And I've found with doing this, and the way I've been doing it is I do kind of get into that meditative state and I ask that they clearly communicate what the message is that I need to share, and ask that I am able to articulate it and put it into words, because that is one thing I would consider myself to be claircognizant. So I kind of have this feeling or this knowing when I am meditating or doing any kind of reading or channeling, but putting it into articulate words to communicate to others is a new challenge for me. So what I do is I draw some cards to kind of get an idea of the theme of the message. And as soon as I pull the cards, it starts to make sense immediately, because it's usually something that I've been thinking about in my own life. I am part of the collective, and it resonates, and the synchronicities just, there's just such a connection to it. So it immediately starts making sense, and I just start, listening. And I ask that they give me the words to share with you the message that I am receiving. So today I did that, and the cards that we got are the third eye chakra. We are using the Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck again today, as well as another one later. The throat chakra and the root chakra. You got all chakra cards. There's not that many. Well, there's 7 in the deck, and I got 3 of them. And last week I pulled 1 card. This week I just felt drawn to pull 3. And as soon as I pulled them, I kind of chuckled to myself because I knew exactly where this was going. I've been realizing that in my own life, I have these cycles, and as we all do, these energy cycles. And when we are in this first cycle, or one of the cycles is this kind of higher energy, this third eye, high vibrational, manifesting, expanding, spiritual awakening, enlightening, questioning, listening, intuition. This is all very high vibrational third eye expansion. And then at some point, we start to come back down to this other energy, this root chakra energy, as above, so below. And this is a very natural cycle, and that's really what we're going to talk about today, is those natural cycles of energy, and how to work with them and not against them. I always have a pen in my hand, by the way. That's how I kind of do these channeled messages. I pull the cards and then I channel and I write it all down so I can put it into these words for you. So I will glance at my notes occasionally to help keep myself on track, so I don't go down a bunch of different paths of thought. So this first energy, this really high vibrational manifesting energy, this takes up so much energy. And after this state, we start to kind of fall down into this root chakra energy. And this is about grounding, resting, working for me personally, I like to work more with my craft in this energy. I do practice witchcraft. I consider myself, I don't know exactly what I'd consider myself. That'll be another video, but I'd say pagan in the sense that I love to, and I feel called to work with the energies of the earth. But I do that more often in this grounding, restful, regenerative root energy. Focusing more on, physical body, your connections with your collective or your community. And actually during this, I kind of had a little self-epiphany. Let me know if you resonate with this down below. But when I am in this high vibrational frequency, I tend to isolate a little bit more. I'm really focused on myself. I'm focused on myself. I'm focused on my own expansion, on my own introspection and reflection on how I can grow and be better and expand. And, my responsibilities, of course, and that takes up a lot of energy. So I am very much more isolated in this energy than when I am back in my root energy. And I'm resting and I want to reach out to my community and check in on them and see how they're doing. I'm feeling more grounded and homey and more in this physical 3D reality. And the root is all about foundation. And I believe as our souls, as the animalistic creatures we are really tribal or community creatures, and we thrive off of the support of our community and the connection to our community and each other, and that's also the collective. So some shadow work I'm gonna have to do is when I'm in this energy, I don't communicate to my community that I'm in this energy, and I'm going to be a little bit more isolated. And that can cause some hurt feelings when we're not being open about where we are in our cycle. And so that when we come back into this root energy, when we want to reach out, we want to see how everyone's doing, and we want to connect, we feel bad because people have felt abandoned when we were in this energy and we didn't communicate it. So there's hurt feelings, and now we feel like we can't reach out, which makes it really hard to actually enjoy and optimize this energy and feel fulfilled by it. So we very quickly move out of it and back into this energy, and how can I change and how can I do better so I can grow and communicate, and once I figure out this, then I'll be able to be a good communicator or a good friend or a good family member, a good partner, what have you. So let me know if you resonate with that you go through these cycles, but when you're in this vibration, you're not communicating that you're in this vibration, and then your community feels slighted. So when you go back to wanting to reach out and wanting to communicate, you feel like you can't, so you go back to the isolation. Let me know. Continuing on though, this kind of cycle happens both on a large scale and then a smaller scale. On the smaller scale, I'd say monthly, with the energy coming into the energy of the full moon. So right after the new moon, we start setting intentions, and we're manifesting, and we're creating, and we're getting all this new downloads and looking forward to our future and our potential, and we've got all this high vibrational energy, and it peaks at the full moon, and then after that it starts waning back down, and we're resting and recuperating from all that manifesting and learning and creating, and we're grounding it back into our reality, and we are preparing for the next cycle. As we approach the new moon, we're releasing anything that no longer serves us, that we've discovered in this high energy, and we're just decompressing back down into this lower, I don't want to say lower vibration, but lower vibrational energy. We're connecting again, we're taking care of our body, and then after the new moon we start to manifest and create and grow and expand, and it just goes through this regular cycle. And that's something I really want to learn more about, is what each equinox and solstice represents and how it matches the cycles of the earth, which mirror the cycles of our life. And I'll probably do some videos on each of those. But this, and that way, you know, the more we understand the cycles of the earth and those natural cycles that we go through unconsciously or subconsciously, the more we can work with them and align ourselves to them, and optimize them, optimize the seasons of our life. And I'm just going to keep these up because I'm going to show you that we just keep going through this cycle. We go up, we go down, we go up, we go down. And it's perfectly natural. So yeah, the next thing I wanted to touch on is that these cycles are natural and they're going to happen whether or not we are aware of them or working with them or optimizing them. And if we're not aware of them, then when we start to, you know, move into maybe this lower vibrational energy and we want to start, we're feeling called to rest our bodies, you know, wanting to be still, or feeling the need to just be still and connect to the earth and ground ourselves and allow ourselves to, you know, I don't want to say not be productive, because this is a very, very productive state. When you allow yourself to be still, there's so much space for downloads or expansion. And we're not necessarily in this energy, you know, looking for it, seeking it, actively working on it, but there's just space for it to really integrate and ground into our reality. So this is a very productive state, but it's not what productivity usually looks like to us when we're being still. So when we start to notice ourselves falling back into this energy, a lot of the times we won't allow it. We force ourselves to push through it and to continue on and push out productivity and continue manifesting and continue creating. And we can't stop, because if we stop, then it's all this stuff that we did in this energy we think is going to go away, and it's not. We need this energy in order to ground these things into our reality, in order to rest and recuperate, to get ready for this next cycle. It's perfectly natural. And when we push through this, then we are not optimizing our energy. And, you know, I just did this personally a couple months ago where I knew I needed to rest. I got all the signs and all the synchronicities, and spirit was like, girl, stop. And I didn't listen, because I was like, I got too much to do. I got too much I want to do. I have too much I have to do. I got too much to do. I'm not doing it. And spirit very abruptly put me on my, excuse my language, ass on this couch. It was like, nope, you're not moving. You feel like absolute poop. You have a headache. Your stomach doesn't feel right. Like I had like gallbladder pain. I had absolutely no motivation to do the dishes, and, you know, no motivation for self-care. I sat on this couch, I watched TV, and I felt awful about it when I knew I needed it. But I was like, no, I can't do this right now. I've got too much to do. And that's just not fair. It's not fair to ourselves. That state, it did help, because I did rest, and I did not allow my body to, but my body made me. And that did give me enough energy to get through that next cycle. But I bet you if I consciously allowed myself to rest and told myself, I'm gonna make me some tea, I'm gonna read a nice book, I'm gonna watch a show I like, and I did it with that mindset, it would have been so much more restorative, so much more restful. And maybe I wouldn't have isolated myself as much during that time and been even more fulfilled and, optimize this past phase of manifesting and creating and ideas and expansion even more. I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot, but that's because Spirit put me on my ass. So we need to respect these cycles and align ourselves with these cycles so that we can optimize our own energy and be aware of our seasons and our cycles. So when we're not shaming ourselves for them, because that's a big thing. When we're feeling like we're moving into this and we don't allow ourselves to, we're shaming ourselves for feeling the need to, even when it's completely natural. We are not machines. We are humans. We need to rest and we need to recuperate. We need to feed our bodies, feed our souls, feed our hearts, feed our need to connect with others. And when we push all of that away, then we aren't actually expanding in the way that we could. So what goes up must come down. I don't know how I forgot her name. Her name's Chloe Taylor. She is a tarot reader. And she says, when you stand up in your own authenticity, you empower everyone around you to do the same. And that's really where this, I know I didn't really touch on it too much. This was kind of a personal message, but also the throat chakra comes in. It's about speaking your truth, being confident in your self and your own power, and being able to communicate your truth to anyone, but also being able to know it yourself, being able to acknowledge it yourself. Yeah. I did also, before I end this, I dropped one. Before I end this, wanted to show you that I pulled additional cards for just any supporting messages or expanding messages. And under the third eye chakra, we got innovation and new creations. So this is talking about creativity and mental activity, new directions, new manifestations. Maybe this is in business, new art, continued education, whether spiritual or in your field of choice, or just in something that you're interested in. But you can see in her heart center is kind of glowing. So it is talking about trusting in yourself, in your own inner guidance, in your intuition, which I think obviously with the third eye does talk about, creativity and manifesting, but also just expands upon the fact that it is okay to come out of this energy and still be successful, still be a better version of yourself. When you have choices, she's got the two hawks here, the two glowing orbs. When you have maybe two directions that you're wanting to go in, trusting yourself and your intuition to just follow the path that resonates most. And maybe I'd say following the cycle that resonates most. When it's time to rest, give yourself rest, otherwise spirit will make you. Underneath throat chakra, and this is where I get a little bit more into throat chakra, is summoning power. Says instinct, intellect, and control. And what I wrote down for this, I do a lot of bullet point words. So calm, confident, self-assured, trust your instincts and your intuition, which kind of connects to that last one. When you're communicating to others, or when you're flowing with your own cycles, your own energy, breaking unhealthy patterns, honoring yourself, and being honest in your ability to prioritize your higher needs. You are the central force and strength and a resonant voice in this world. Everything you have learned in these higher vibrations and in these lower vibrations come together to create your inner knowing and your inner belief, inner world, and inner strength. And when you get to the point where you can balance these two energies, there's so much more calm, confidence, and assurance in yourself that you're then able to communicate it to others without the fear of how they're going to perceive it, because it doesn't matter, because you know in your heart that this is right for you and that the messages you're receiving are right for you. And when you're communicating your beliefs or needs or boundaries or wants and desires to others, that's where that confidence and clear articulation comes from, is just this inner knowing from balancing these high vibrational and low vibrational energies, coming into, balancing your chakras. It takes both energies. It takes cycles to come into this confidence and power. And when we acknowledge these cycles and work with these cycles, and really observe them versus, judging ourselves for where we are in them, that's when you're going to grow the most. That's when you're going to expand the most. And that's when you're going to create the most solid foundation and come into your true power. So I really liked that one. I love you. Summoning power. Oh, I'm holding them back here. And then the last one was friendship. It's so pretty. So we see these two women looking out onto the earth, the natural beauty, and just appreciating it. And this came out right under root chakra, and we were talking about how root chakra is connected to your community and your connections and your foundation, and gratitude for the earth and working with those earth energies. I thought this was a really good one. What else did I want to say on this one? Oh, so much. Finding a community, I'm trying to like rechannel it. Finding a community of people, either individuals or a group that align with you, that vibrate at the same frequency as you. Maybe not all the time or in all aspects of life, but in the important ones and the ones where you can support each other and communicate your deepest desires and fears without judgment. Just a support system, a foundation, and really being open to, you know, we can very much isolate ourselves in that higher frequency that we were talking about, but our community is so important, and you need to surround yourself with people or communicate to your people what cycle you're in, so that they can best support you and allow them to feel comfortable communicating to you what cycle they're in so that you may best support them. You know, the collective, our community, is genuinely the most important thing, especially, I know I said I would dabble in this in another video, but especially just with the way the world is going right now, especially, I don't say especially if you live in the United States, because I know it's happening everywhere. Just the direction right now is there are people who are still very much in old energies. And, you know, like I was saying, we need both high vibrational and low vibrational beings and energies to create balance in this world. But a lot of the times we are so isolated. How do I want to say this? We isolate ourselves so much that we're focusing so much on our own self-growth. And I know I've talked about the self-growth does benefit the collective, but if all you're doing in this kind of like new age spiritual community is focusing on, you know, manifesting money, manifesting abundance, manifesting a new car, manifesting a new job, and like that's all you're looking to get out of it, I don't think we're doing it right. It is all about manifesting to support yourself in order to grow, in order to support each other. And we are so isolated and focused on the individual that anybody else is like a threat. And I think we all have this idea, and I'm not going to explain this exactly how I wanted to, because it kind of just came to me. But the way to move forward in this world, the way to move forward through everything we are seeing going on in this world right now, in our collective, in our community, is just that, is community. It's not, well, I'm just going to manifest my own abundance and my own success and like screw everybody else. And I'm just going to, you know, manifest myself out of this society and this situation. It's more about manifesting for the collective. How can you help your neighbor? How can you give them grace and space for the cycle that they're in? I guess I'll stop there for now. I want to go more into that, but I'm having a hard time putting it into words. I'll leave you with this. Give yourself grace, forgive yourself when you move into these different cycles. Observe them, enjoy them. Allow yourself to expand, allow yourself to experience both high vibrational, low vibrational, allow yourself to manifest and create and be excited, and then allow yourself to rest and connect, because both are so important. And like I said, I'm going to make some more videos about the seasons or the wheel of the year, the solstices, the equinoxes, and how that energy can affect us and change throughout the year, so that we may observe and optimize on those energies. And don't be afraid to play. Don't be afraid to enjoy. Don't be afraid of bliss. Just because you are not pumping out productivity in the way we have been conditioned to see it does not mean you're any less, or that you should feel frustrated with yourself. You are deserving of these cycles. You are deserving of rest. You are deserving of joy. You are deserving of being present and living in the moment. And it is not all about the high vibrational energies and peace and love all the time. Something I didn't get into, like I kind of wanted to, was in the grounding energy is a little bit of that shadow work. But it takes light and dark to create the whole. And you are deserving of both. And you are naturally both. And both are okay. Yeah. So that was the collective message. Let me know if it resonates with you. I'm going to start trying to do these weekly. I feel really called to continue on this, even if sometimes I feel like I am rambling and not actually articulating exactly what I want to say. I'm going to just get better each time, and more confident each time. And eventually, maybe here and there, I'll start doing live channeling or live readings, or maybe not live, but actually just like shuffling on camera so you can see me pulling cards. I'm not quite there yet, but I am also over on TikTok at Mystic Mom 444. I started dabbling in that, just kind of having fun with it when I was on maternity leave. I felt like I needed to pump out all of this information and all of these content ideas all at once and have the best, funniest content. And I don't think it got there, but I felt like I had to do that all before I returned to work from my maternity leave, because I felt like I was on this timeline, and if I didn't get it all out, then all of it would be lost. And that's not the case. I needed that time of kind of rest and contraction to do shadow work and learn and grow and expand. And I didn't post videos for a really long time on TikTok. I'll probably start making some here and there, but I think I'm really called to focus on this right now. But it's a balancing act. Yeah, we're growing, we're expanding, we're learning together, we're building a community, and connecting. And yeah, let me know if you resonate with anything. Let me know if there's something that you want to talk more about, or get further into. But I will be back next week with a new collective message.